Call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Chris.
Here.
Richard. Here. Nancy.
Yes.
Dave.
Here. Do we have any amendments to the agenda for today's meeting? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have any amendments to the minutes from the last meeting, which will be the November 12th meeting? I don't see any changes. I think it's good. There are no amendments. Do we have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Moving on to public comments. Is there anybody here who has public comments not related to items on today's agenda? Okay, hearing none. We'll move on to the consent calendar. I think this is, are we just accepting this one on A on the consent calendar, Dave?
I believe so.
Liz, on the consent calendar, we're just accepting this for the next meeting, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So do we have a motion to accept the consideration of an application from Josh Etcher for a conditional use permit to conduct a net house in the single-family district at 112 Cornelius Road?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on this before we vote? Okay. Roll call, please.
Dave.
Yes.
Richard. Yes. Nancy.
Yes.
Chris.
Yes. Okay. Moving on to public hearing items. First thing on the agenda is election of Planning Commission Chair, Vice Chair, and Secretary. We postponed this at the last meeting because we only had 4 of us here. Do we want to do that again, or do we want to proceed with this? Dave?
I make a motion that we re-elect you chair.
I'll second.
Okay.
That we do what?
That Chris is currently chair, so I'll amend my motion that we elect Chris Wright chair for 1 more year.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hey guys, this is going to be noisy just for a second. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
That's all right.
Didn't want to interrupt you.
I make a motion we re-elect Dave as vice chair.
Welcome to
Second.
All in favor?
Aye, I guess.
Aye.
Okay. And secretary? Dave?
Should we appoint somebody that's not here?
That's right. That's what happened.
Oh, that's right. Does the secretary have to do anything now?
I have to sign.
He has to sign things occasionally.
That's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah.
I'll accept.
Okay. I make a motion, yes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Let's move on to B, which is a recommendation to the Borough Assembly on an application from Rob Schwartz to purchase approximately 35,000 square feet of borough property located at North 14th Street. Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Discussion?
Well,
Want to come up to the mic and state your name? And
no, I don't.
okay. Well, we need you to for the record because it's got to record.
All right.
So.
Rob Schwartz.
Okay.
When I put in the application and paid the $500, right, in interest of the property, that property line that I was shown was adjacent to my property line at both 14th Street at the warehouse and behind my own property at 314 Sandy Beach Road. So when the summer happened, I was fishing and I came back and find out there's a road easement that is adjacent to both the warehouse property on 14th Street and 314 Sandy Beach Road. So, I'm still interested in the property, but I'm not really interested in a road going in back of my property along Sandy Beach Road or the warehouse.
Yeah.
So, it's changed since spring to fall. Is that right, Liz?
Yeah. So when we started doing research on it, we found that there was a right-of-way right there. Yeah. I guess it's good to know before you actually purchase them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave.
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry I'm not 100% up on this, and I haven't looked at the property, but my understanding is there's really no property all the way up to the lots that are on one side of North Nordic Drive, right? Currently.
I mean, there's,
all this whole stretch, this whole area is,
I think somebody bought one down
Oh, yeah,
in there
no, so,
somewhere
yeah.
at one point, down in these blocks.
Right.
But they own the property that's across the street anyway, so
right,
it's,
right.
you know, I don't foresee in the near future that right-of-way being developed, but
No, but I don't know whether
it just
we're,
exists.
whether we'd be in a position or would want to vacate the right of way or not. Or both of them, or one of them.
I don't know.
Because the other point would also be the right of way behind the lots on Sandy Beach Road. We'd have, people might not even know they have a right of way back there, but we'd have to query all those people and see what they think too. Because, if we vacated the right of way right where the lot that he specified sat on both sides, that would block access to all the other lots.
Yeah.
Not that there's any eminent need of
Well,
a development there
I mean,
now.
this back right-of-way is more important for accessing these lots.
Yeah, I
That
understand.
front one is more like an alley, really, because it's to the back of everybody on Sandy Beach.
Right, no, I understand that.
So, I mean, that's, if you were going to vacate a right-of-way, that would be the one to vacate.
Right, yeah, no, I understand that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be supporting vacating both of them, but
No.
I would say if we were to consider this purchase, we should consider, whether it's in the long-term interest of vacating that Cedar Street right-of-way as well.
Yeah.
So if I could ask Rob a question?
Sure.
I'd have to take a closer look at it, but I wouldn't support vacating both right-of-ways, obviously.
Oh, no.
But if one of them was vacated, the one that's stated on the map was a Cedar Street right-of-way, would that be acceptable?
I'm not looking at the map. It doesn't make any sense to have a road right in back of everybody's property.
The Cedar Street.
When you can access
right
from
behind.
14th Street, the second road back,
Yeah.
all those lots could be accessed from a road there.
Right,
I think it was a 1962 survey or something.
right,
It was an old survey.
right, no, I understand. Most of that land,
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yeah, just for clarification, so that Cedar Street right-of-way was from a 1960s federal survey when they first laid out, property out there. But those other ones that are shown on this map, those are actually not legal right-of-ways. There was a subdivision plat that was created, I want to say, in the 70s, maybe early 80s, that vacated Cedar Street, created all these other right-of-ways, but that plat was never recorded.
oh,
I see.
And for whatever reason, ever since, all the maps have shown it as if it was a true thing.
But it's not,
It's not, yeah. So these other shown ones are not true right-of-ways. That is
so they
a
don't exist.
possible thing that could happen, but it isn't legally,
Yeah.
hasn't legally been done. So the only one that exists right now legally is that Cedar Street one and then the 14th Street.
Okay.
And where's the 14th Street at? Is that the one adjacent? It's not marked
It's,
on this map.
This
It's
is
the north-south one right there.
Oh, okay, oh, sorry,
here,
yeah,
and
okay.
that's Cedar Street.
I see, okay.
Those two are the legal ones. The rest of them don't
And
exist.
Koenig's Lane there, of course, right? So
Yeah.
that, and then the rest of it is really one large parcel.
Right.
Yeah. But having said that, I can understand why they had proposed to vacate the Cedar Street right away. It seems rather redundant to have another street right there on the other side of, those series of
Yeah.
lots, right? No.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Steve.
So let me understand. The Cedar Street right-of-way is sort of there, but it isn't a legal right-of-way, so we wouldn't have to vacate that.
No, it is illegal. Right?
It is a legal
It
right-of-way.
is a legal right-of-way. None of these out
Oh, I
here
see.
are legal right-of-ways.
I see.
And what they did is when they did the survey that this map was drawn off of, they were going to vacate the Cedar Street right-of-way.
I see.
They never filed any of that.
I see.
So the Cedar Street right-of-way is an existing right-of-way, but the other ones don't exist.
So could I ask another question? Okay, how big of a deal would it be to vacate the Cedar Street right-of-way and then put another right-of-way on the other side of the property to access the other lots? Because who knows what's going to happen in the next 100 years?
So vacating the Cedar Street right-of-way, you need the majority of the property owners, the majority of the feet along the right-of-way.
Right.
So if it's 1,000 feet, you need 501 feet worth of property owners to petition to have it vacated if it's coming from property owners. So then that starts the vacation process, which goes through the Planning Commission and then also has to go to the Assembly to actually get it vacated. And then creating it would be a subdivision, depending on how many lots you're creating, minor subdivision or major subdivision. If you wanted to do it perhaps in a, I was going to say a simpler way, I'm not sure if there's a way to do it initiated by the, by the Planning Commission, but I can check and double check and see if that is a possibility, like if the, if the municipal government wanted to initiate a vacation.
I would point clarification on that as far as you're talking the number of linear feet. That's on both sides of the street?
It just, it says
Yeah.
fronting the area
that
to be,
street.
right, so the
So-
borough obviously would be,
The borough owns the majority of that property
Right.
at this time.
well, half, right?
Well, because it's longer on the one side than the other. So if you went the whole way
Oh, by a
down.
couple feet, yeah, okay.
By a few feet.
I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. So,
But let me quickly check and I'll tell you here.
Okay.
Another option.
would you be interested in doing the purchase and then at a later time doing the vacation of the right-of-way?
No.
No? Okay.
I'd like to vacate the right-of-way first.
Okay.
Well, and
Yeah.
then Liz said, you had questions for me on what I wanted to do with the land. And
Yeah.
I have roots in this community, go back over 100 years to great-great-grandparents, and I have branches now.
Yeah.
There's kids and grandkids coming, and I don't know what the future holds. But I have a lot more interest in the land if there's not a road right adjacent to my property.
Yeah. Okay.
Quite a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Sure. If this is an involved process to vacate the right-of-way, then I assume you're not interested. Or it depends?
Well, I mean, it's not going to cost me anything.
Oh, okay, I understand, right.
I wrote the check to begin with, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And it's not like I don't have time,
Right.
So I've been thinking about it for a long time, and then I thought, well, what the heck? You know,
Right.
I'll look into it. And I don't know what all the people are going to do, but I know what several of them are going to do, and I thought if I could pick up a piece of property, you know. If it takes time, that's fine. That's okay.
Now, if we continue it until we get the right-of-way figured out, then he can still stay
Right.
in the queue to get this figured out. I mean, it's not like we're in any rush, and it doesn't seem like you're in any rush on this.
I'll stay queued up.
Yeah, so,
So,
So move to continue.
okay. I second.
any further discussion? So that'll be,
One question, so, I guess, well, let's go ahead and vote on the motion, and we can, or, I mean,
You can't talk about, if you're going to have questions, you're going to have to talk about it now versus,
later, right?
later.
you talk now, not later.
Okay.
Okay, so my question is, if we continue it, then we'll research what it takes to vacate one of the right-of-ways.
Yeah, it's pretty much a petition by the majority of the property owners
So
along
you have to
the,
get the, if, I'm just saying, if it's just, it depends on how much of that right-of-way you're going to vacate. If you just vacate just along that lot, then the majority property owner's the borough. So it'd be just the borough and you are the two property owners on that. So, and how would we go about that?
well, if that was going to, try to simplify it, at some point you're going to have to also survey that property because it's not surveyed.
Yeah.
So in my mind, it'd be nice to combine the surveying and the vacating,
It'd be better to do it all at once, yeah.
yeah, so that it doesn't cost as much to,
Right.
you don't have to run through as many processes, but let me think about a clean way of doing that, since it's involving private property and public property.
Well, would it be better to do it all at once in conjunction with, if we're going to vacate that right-of-way all the way down, would it be better to do that all at once, or,
It could be, and it may not be. It depends on whether the rest of the property owners are in agreement that that's what they want to have happen, I would think.
okay?
Because you would need to go out and redo a public notice,
Yeah.
letting people know that you're going to do this. And also, simultaneously, if you're going to do a minor subdivision that, creates this lot, we also need to do that part of it too. The vacation also needs to go to the assembly.
Just a second, I have
Okay, that's fine.
one more question for Liz on this, is, I was trying to think of the best way to, would it be best for us to continue this and get more input from you on, at the next meeting, of what you found out about being a vacation and what's be the best way to do it?
Well, yeah, because that's a whole different ball of wax, really, to do it all together. And then also whether you're talking about just vacating the portion that Mr. Schwartz is interested in, or are you talking about vacating the entire stretch?
Yeah. I mean, whatever works best for Mr. Schwartz, I think, is what,
Well, obviously, what's going to work
Yeah.
best is fewer people involved, right, in just that small section. But
And I don't know what will work best for the city. I imagine that if you got rid of the whole stretch, people along there, my sister and brother-in-law and Cushing's and on down the line
Yeah.
towards Hungry Point, I don't know. I can't speak for them.
yeah.
But if there wasn't a road going right back there behind their property, there might be interest. I mean, I have property adjacent to mine. Hopefully I have a good fishing season or two down the road. I'd be interested in those lots because I could access them.
And the road,
Without a road or any development, I could still access those lots back there, or at least control who my neighbors
the
are.
road affects the setbacks as well.
Right.
So
if
as
you
soon as that
vacate, though, it
easement's
goes,
gone,
it splits the subdivision, it splits the right-of-way in
It splits
half.
the right of way in half, and
Half and
half
half,
goes to
yeah.
either, yeah. So it's basically the property line moves to where the middle of the right of way would be.
Oh,
So,
You kind of want agreement down the road to make sure that everyone's going to want it and want to buy it, right? Because
Can you get rid of the road altogether?
that's what I was
we're
saying,
talking about.
vacating it means getting rid of that
Yeah,
road.
get rid of it. I mean, I think that it would be a win-win.
Yeah, Dave?
Yeah, I think if we're going to proceed with this, I don't really like the idea of leaving a stranded right-of-way like that. I think we should try and vacate the entire right-of-way if we're going to do it, but, so,
Because it really is, in the way this is drawn up, it's really like having an alley down the back of all of those lots, which doesn't really make a lot of sense.
I like the way you think.
So,
I guess on the motion, I guess we'll just continue it, and then Liz will get back to us in the future.
I think
So we're going
we'll continue it until we hear back from borough staff about the best way to proceed with this.
and again, it's to vacate the entire stretch.
Yeah,
Just to clarify. Okay.
yeah,
yeah.
I think that's probably the best move, so. All right. Roll call, please.
Chris?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Richard? Yes. Nancy?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay, next we have consideration of an application for a conditional use permit from Tiffany Davis for a home occupation hair salon at 101 Jennings Lane. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay. Discussion? I think it makes sense. It seems very straightforward. She seems to have plenty of parking there. So,
I agree.
any further discussion, questions, comments?
I don't have any issues outside of my general issue that I always have with conditional home use permits, but, yes, then,
I think we need to state that the motion is with the findings of fact?
Yes.
Okay. So, roll call?
Nancy?
Yes.
Richard? Yes. Chris?
Yes.
Dave?
yes.
Okay. And we're moving on to consideration of an application for a conditional use permit from Alec and Teresa Funt for a mobile home in an industrial district at 213 Hungerford Hill. Are they on the phone?
I think so, yeah. Kid.
We are.
You are, okay. All right, do you have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Discussion, questions? Just to clarify, you're replacing an existing mobile home with a bigger mobile home, but pretty much the same footprint as the mobile home that's there with the carport that's there.
Yeah, that's correct. We're not looking to put a huge piece on there, just kind of upgrade.
Okay.
Seems pretty straightforward to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's not changing the use or anything else. It seems to me to be straightforward to proceed with it. So,
Oh, and just to point out, there's one written comment that we received, and that's in the packet in support of the conditional use permit.
Yes, from
I saw
Pat
that.
Weaver.
Looks like it's a reasonably good-sized lot, so it shouldn't be an issue. Any questions? Any more comments? Nancy, you got any?
Nothing,
Okay. Roll call?
Dave.
Yes.
Nancy.
yes.
Richard. Yes. Chris.
Yes. Okay. Moving on to non-agenda items. Any commissioner comments? Liz, staff comments?
I think I'm going to let Joe update you on Brian Whitney when he gets back. But
Okay.
safe to say that progress has been made, and they actually did make significant headway this summer. So, but he can fill you in on the details.
Okay,
I just haven't been out there, and he has. So,
okay.
and the other thing on the next meeting, I just want to double check on who is going to be here and who's not going to be here for the 14th.
I fly back in on the 13th, so I'll be
Okay.
here on the 14th, unless Alaska Airlines doesn't get here.
Sure. And Richard, you said no?
I will be here.
Oh, you will be here. I don't know why I keep thinking you said no. Okay,
I'll be here.
great.
The 14th?
The 14th,
Let me find that page.
sure thing.
All I have that whole week is planning and zoning.
All righty, great. Okay, thank you, guys.
All right. We have a motion to adjourn.
So move.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Who's Brian Whitney?